Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for, this is going to be your September bonus for now until this time next year. We're going to see where you will be 1 year from now. We did this a year ago, so it's time to do it again. You start off here in your current general energies with this Delight card and this Security card. By the way, it does seem to be a better year. So, that's the good news, I suppose, right? Everybody's been getting really good stuff. So, I feel that you are very focused on your financial security. I mean, I consider the King of Pentacles to be the card of financial security, or at least trying to create financial security, but I feel like you're finding it with this energy, because you have this Delight card, which says, clearly you are going to be delighted by what you do. With that King of Wands, I'm getting something about really needing to be, he is really bold, assertive, and courageous and all those other things, but I'm more getting, don't give up. I feel that it's almost like, without even finishing, it's almost like this reading is saying to me that you're about to stumble upon something, but if you aren't, working, then you're not going to stumble upon something, right? I know that I was hesitating because that sounds stupid, but, kind of like what this means to me is that it's almost as if you're on this journey, and if you stop your journey, then you're never going to discover what you went to look for in the first place. But if you keep going, it's almost as if you stumble into, kind of like a golden opportunity here. So, I feel like this is saying you need to keep pushing forward. You have this Security and this Delight card. Again, I do feel like you are searching for financial security and abundance, or, something along those lines. It is almost like you're searching for something. That's more the energy that I'm kind of getting off of this reading. You have a lot of symbols of prosperity. I mean, you have this Between Worlds card in the Oracle of the Wisdom of the Oracle. It's like a card of prosperity. You have the Snake Spirit in the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle, and that is a card of prosperity. So it really seems to me like but I feel like prosperity is a word that I'm getting here. I'm not getting abundance. I'm not getting money or anything like that popping into my head. This reading is more saying to me that you want to be prosperous, that is very different. That is like total abundance, right? It's kind of having abundance in multiple areas of your life. Again, I was getting don't give up, or, keep pushing forward here, especially if you're working towards something. Sometimes I think we work on something, and the more we work on it, the more we perfect it, the better. But some people, they give up as they're perfecting something. I don't know. That's what's popping into my head here. So it's like, if you're working on a project or a business, I feel it would be better for you to not, number one, don't try to be perfect, but number two, it is always a good idea to rework things. We have the retrograde still, so, if you're watching this in September, we have Mercury retrograde, even though, on the 3rd, Venus goes direct, doesn't matter. So what I would say here is a great time to rework, revisit, kind of redo something, and, make some, kind of improve on something, iterate over time. One thing I will say is we have Pluto going into Aquarius at the end of next year officially. It's going back and forth between you, Capricorn, and Aquarius. And, to me, that Aquarian energy, Pluto and Aquarius, there is a certain kind of side of that energy where we have to be willing to iterate. We have to be willing to work on something over time and improve it over time. Could be a relationship, could be a business, could be whatever the hell you're working on. But I would do it. I really feel this is saying don't give up. You have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, card of abundance and success. I feel like saying unlike anything you've seen before, so it's like if you're attracting abundance, I feel this is I'm not trying to make this, trying to blow smoke, as I always say, or anything like that, but I do feel you could be creating abundance like you have never seen in your life. But again, it's going to be work. It's not going to be something that is necessarily easy. I don't think it's been easy. I think that you have been on this journey. We have the Knight. I can't get away from this Knight of Wands in your reading, and he's really kind of calling out to me in your reading. I feel that he is representing the journey that you have been on. I feel like he is representing the in and out experiences that you've been having, and I'm not even talking about love here. I feel the Knight of Wands is saying to me that you've been on this journey where it's like you try to do something, you take one step forward. It's sometimes it's one step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Sometimes you make a big leap, right, in your life where you go 10 steps forward and then maybe only 1 step back. But then some other times I feel like it's 1 step forward, 3 steps back. It's this kind of annoying treadmill type of feeling, right? Even though he is showing up in the area of the good stuff. But I feel that's been your experience, right? And it could be in any area of your life. And I feel like this journey is, maybe you have gotten to a point where you feel like it's not going anywhere. And I feel like it is. is what I feel like saying, just so you know. So I feel this is saying, no, actually, you are going somewhere. This is going somewhere, and you're about to experience something like you've never experienced before. You have the Page of Swords. I just went through all of them, but I feel you need to be curious about this. The Judgment card and then the Knight of Wands. The Judgment card is a wake-up call, so you could have had some sort of wake-up call, but it could also just be you waking up to your purpose or waking up to a new opportunity in your life. And I feel that you need to go on the adventure. I feel like you have this crocodile card, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and it's almost as if you've been recharging your batteries. You know, when you think about a crocodile lays in the sun, you know, kind of warms its body up before it gets going. And so I feel for a lot of you, you've been kind of, recharging your batteries, gaining a bunch of energy. But this is kind of like the snap. You know, I feel this year, it's like you've been, another way to look at this is like a bow and arrow. It's like you've been pulling back for years, right? You've been pulling that bow back and you're about to release your arrow. So that's like the type of energy I get from that row. Pretty good reading. I like this energy for sure. With the King of Wands, you have the Queen of Pentacles here. You have the Queen of Pentacles twice, King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Definitely could be a person right here coming in for you that you will be very attracted to. Definitely could be another earth sign or someone with a lot of earth in their chart. You know, take it how it resonates. But I do feel this could be a good connection. I also do feel a very determined feeling on your resources. I feel you are very focused on, increasing your resources for the most part. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of victory and success. So I do feel that obviously you're going to have a victory unlike anything you've seen before. I feel it's much, there's less of this 1 step forward, 10 steps back, 1 step forward, 3 steps back. It's like I get a much more consistent type of predictable energy here. With the Page of Swords, you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant sometimes to me represents like outside the box thinking. Taurus had this as well. This is Taurus, but Taurus also had something where I really feel like if you're doing things like the conventional things, King of Pentacles, then maybe things are going to be slow. But if you're embracing your unconventional ideas, I think those are the things that are going to lead to the most success and abundance for you here. So I would be tapping into those unconventional ideas. Next, what are we doing? Oh yeah, what you don't see coming. I keep forgetting what this row is for whatever reason. But it says the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. You have this waxing moon. It says the energy is gaining momentum. The whole entire reading is about momentum. Really, it's about you, like storing energy. You're like a bow and arrow, and you're about to release your arrow, like I said. So, I feel that everything that you need is about to show up in your life. Like right now, I don't even think you're going to be waiting a year, because it looks like to me that you're working on something pretty big here, like a big project, big business, or, a big relationship, take it how it resonates. And, I feel that you're going to be working on it over time. So there you go. You have the Page of Cups, the Judgment card, and the Queen of Swords. The Page of Cups could be a love connection coming in for you. Probably another earth sign, I would say. Could be any sign. This is a general reading, but I do feel there could be a love offer that's being presented to you. I also do feel this could be a dream. I mean, you have this Imagine card at the end that I'll show you at the end, but that card, it's like a lady. She has a rope around the moon, and she's bringing the moon down to earth. So the Page of Cups has this fish in his cup. And I always say that fish might not exist. That fish might be part of his imagination, and he needs to grab onto that fish. And right here, you have the Judgment card. If you are being called to something, don't be afraid to step outside that coffin. You see, these people are in these coffins. The coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. And I feel a lot of you, it would be a great time for you to step into your new life, being bold and assertive. You have that snake. The snake, it represents the Ouroboros. It's the snake eating its own tail. And so I feel for a lot of you that the Ouroboros, represents reinvention. So I feel for a lot of you as well, on top of that, snake card represents prosperity in that deck, but I also feel that there could be kind of some sort of reinvention or you changing yourself in some way. I'm going to show you here, because you have the Queen of Swords to the Hermit. The Queen of Swords only has clouds halfway up her body, and it kind of represents her finally seeing the way forward very clearly. So she finally sees like what she needs to do, the actions she needs to take, the experiences she needs to have, the things she needs to do in her life. And so it's like, I feel you've done a lot of soul searching. You've been through this dark night of the soul, again, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. and now you see like what you need to do with your life or the actions you need to take. With the Page of Cups, you have the High Priestess. Could be a Pisces for some of you that's coming in for you, but I also feel this is saying you need to trust your intuition. Really, she's a card of potential, so again, I think that there's a big opportunity here coming in for you, has a lot of potential, but she has no limits, right? There's no roof over her head, and it kind of says that the only thing that is preventing her from creating something with no limits is herself. So there are no limits to what you can create except for your mind, right? And that's what's important there. With the Judgment card, you have the Two of Pentacles. I would say if you're only working, I would make sure to be playing as well. This is a work hard, play hard type of card. So it says you need to make sure that you're balancing your energies, that you're doing things in balance, that you're not stressing yourself out all the time. And so I would make sure to do that. And with the Queen of Swords here, you have the Empress. Definitely a lot of abundance. We see that there's tons of abundance here, tons of prosperity. I feel you could also be attracting a Taurus, clearly. I would also say that I feel that it is a very abundant time. I would encourage you to tap into your creative side as well. This isn't necessarily showing up here, except for this card, but what I would say is I do feel it's a time where the more we can tap into our creative energy, the better. It's a very creative time. I think creativity is being rewarded as well. So, make sure to do that. Next, you have this snake in this crocodile card. So this is showing up in the good stuff. And again, I feel that crocodile is saying that you've been storing your energy. Like I said, they lay in the sun. That's what popped into my head. And they store up their energy before they take off. So I feel for a lot of you, maybe you feel like you haven't been making moves, or maybe you feel like you haven't been doing much, but really, I feel you've been doing a lot. You've been doing a lot of energetic stuff. Maybe you're not even aware of it. And the snake is talking about prosperity, I feel. And, I also feel it's saying that, you're kind of going through this shedding process, this reinvention process, and it's kind of like more of a transformation. It's like a transformation. Like I said, I keep getting these words like you've never seen before, but like I said, I'm not trying to be blow smoke right here, but I feel it is a big transformation, or it is a big opportunity that is maybe a little bit more, a little bit more better is what I was going to say, but that's not proper English. But I think it's something better than you've ever experienced before. You have the Knight of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Hermit. Again, this is showing up in the good stuff, so it's going to be good no matter what. The Five of Wands is a card of conflict and competition, but it's also a card that says you could have learned or have been learning a lot from conflict or competition in general. They're fighting on this card, but again, they are learning how to fight. So I feel that you have learned. I also feel that some of you, it's like you're finding a way to stand out from the competition with the Knight of Wands. Like if you've been trying to get a job, maybe you're having a hard time getting a job, but maybe also you've learned how to stand out with your resume, or you're learning new tricks to do that. And I feel that here with the Knight of Wands for whatever reason. He also kind of operates based off his desire. He desires to do something and he does it. He doesn't really care what anyone thinks, what anyone says. So I really feel that's an important energy here. Again, you've been pulling that bow back. You have an arrow that you are about to release. And I feel like that arrow is going in the direction of your desires, but and you're about to release it. So, I feel for a lot of you, really about to kind of, it's almost like you're about to be launched towards, I get this more launching feeling where it's like you're about to launch really quickly towards something you desire. You have the Hermit. I feel the Hermit is saying you've definitely been through a difficult time. You've learned all these lessons, but the lessons are over. So it's like now it's time to put those lessons into practice. It's time to use the lessons you've learned, and it's time to get your rewards for whatever you learned. Again, Five of Wands, same thing. Five of Wands is learning from lessons. So let's see. With the Knight of Wands, here you go. You have the Sun, best card in the deck. So definitely a lot of happiness and joy. The Knight of Wands, he would just go towards the sun. Whatever makes him happy, whatever he desires, wherever his attention is going, that's the direction he's going to move in. So, that's exactly what I would do there. With the Five of Wands, you have the Fool. Yes, definitely time to take a leap of faith. It's almost like maybe your arrow's all the way back and it's time to release it. This is saying, okay, like now, whatever you've been thinking about working on, doing, being, having, now it's time for you to release it, release the arrow and go for it. I feel like now is the time for you to make it happen, is what this is saying. So I really feel it's time for that leap of faith. Even if we go here, up here, you have the Hierophant. or sorry, the hangman. The hangman sometimes I feel can be a delay. He's not making any moves. He's not doing anything towards what he wants to create in his life. So he really needs to make that move, and I feel that. With the hermit, you have the Page of Wands. Yes, another card of desire, another card of moving towards your enthusiasm, or towards things that make you feel enthusiastic. I feel that would be great as well with that energy. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Between Worlds card, which I love, and you have this Imagine card, which I also love. Again, the Between Worlds card, you can see it's like going from black and white to color. And I feel for a lot of you that this has something to do with your highest potential. Maybe you've been living in black and white. Like I said, every day is the same. With the Hermit is kind of the energy I was getting there. And now you're stepping into a much more vibrant, lively world. With this Imagine card, sorry, wrong way, you can see that it's kind of hard to see that rope that she has around the moon, but she's bringing the moon down to earth. And I feel that you could be manifesting a dream, something big that you're working on. And I feel this whole entire reading is saying, like, don't stop. This is a golden opportunity that you have in front of you. And especially for those of you that already are working on an opportunity, maybe you're working on a side hustle, a business, a YouTube channel, a podcast. It could also be something personal. You could be working on yourself. You could be improving yourself, or a relationship, whatever it is. I don't care. I would just keep doing it, because clearly it's like a golden opportunity. You have the Hangman, the Eight of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. The Eight of Swords is what's going to keep everybody stuck right now. So, the Eight of Swords is only seeing one way of doing things when there are many ways to do things. I would just make sure that you open up to all the ways of doing things. If you're starting a business, or, start getting into a relationship, just it doesn't say you have to believe anything, or it doesn't say you absolutely have to do things differently. It just kind of says be flexible, be open to these different ways. Again, we're ending the Taurus Scorpio eclipse cycle coming up in October. We had the Taurus eclipse and Scorpio eclipse last year. And, with that Taurus eclipse, I was saying, this is to teach us to be flexible, to, look for other solutions. And, it kind of says, if one way to do something doesn't work, then you need to find another way. You need to do things in a different way. And that's what I feel here. With the Hangman, I feel that you are overprepared, really. I kind of feel like your future self is like saying, and maybe you'll feel this as well. Is this really a bad thing? I don't know. I think this all happens to everyone at some point in life, where you have a realization that you could have kind of overcome something or done something much sooner than you actually did. So maybe like 1 year from now, you're like, wow, that really, building that business or building that relationship that has brought me so much joy, it was much easier than I thought, and I could have done it so much sooner. But again, I feel like, don't beat yourself up. I feel like this is saying it happens to everyone. Yeah, you could have done it sooner, and yes, you're prepared. If you're watching this right now, you're ready. So I feel this is saying, like, do it, get moving. But also we see a lot of enlightenment here. The Sun is a card of enlightenment. It's a card of getting answers. And the Hangman has been enlightened. You show up here as the Queen of Pentacles. This is you, Capricorn. Whenever you show up as yourself, it really puts you in a position of power and strength in the reading. I feel like you're very focused on increasing your abundance just in general. That doesn't surprise me. So, there you go. With the Hangman, you have the Nine of Swords. It's like time to get off the pole, basically, with the Hangman. The Nine of Swords is like repeating a never-ending nightmare, right? It's like waking up, having a nightmare, waking up, being stuck in a nightmare. The Hangman, I feel, is saying, like, don't repeat a cycle. It's time for you to kind of like get moving towards bigger and better things, and that's what that wants you to do. It's time for you to step into this new life. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Temperance card. You have the power to transform, every single aspect of your life, and I really feel you need to believe that. With the Temperance card, I really feel you need to believe that you can and will, kind of overcome pretty much everything, and you can and will, do what you have to do to be successful. So there you go. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords. It's great. I almost said the Queen of Swords. I wish I did. But here you go. You have the Queen of Swords twice. I feel you see clearly now the things that you need to do to improve your life. So that's great. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. I just want to see what else is going on for you. You have this flag. It says, do not be tempted to lower your standards. I think all of us are being asked to do things. There's a section in Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. I don't remember exactly what he says, but he basically says, ask for things unapologetically. That's like basically what he says. So, if you want $10 million, what most people do is they say, I want $10 million, but I would be happy with $1 million. When you do that, you're settling with the universe, because it's like, no, you want $10 million. So you need to ask for things things unapologetically. It doesn't have to be money. It could be whatever you want. And I feel like this is saying when you ask it and then truly believe it, you'll get it, right? You have this cracked cup. It says dissatisfaction with life. I feel the 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I feel like you're sick of it. And, I really feel this reading is saying don't give up because you're ending that cycle right now, like as we speak. You have this wishbone. It says a wish granted. Yes, definitely good things coming in for you. You have this cobweb. It says protected from negative forces beyond your control. So I feel you are protected at this time. So don't even worry about the haters. You have this table. It says hard work ahead. Yes, there will definitely be work. But again, we're entering into a time of efficient work, I would say. I think I said this at the beginning of the reading. Nothing just happens for you. Tarot can't make anything happen for you. It can't do anything for you. So I always tell people, it's like, yes, you're going to have to put work in to the things that you're working on. But I feel this is more work you want to do. I don't know about you. I have every planet and its mother is in Capricorn for me, right? I'm a Pisces, but I might as well be a Capricorn. So what I would say here is that, I don't know about you, but I love working hard. Like people are always like, take a break and all this other stuff. I go crazy if I take a break. I go crazy if I'm on vacation. So, I feel that if you're like me, then you probably want to work hard anyway. I just think it's more efficient work that is coming in here. It's like a much bigger bang for your buck, right? This looks amazing. I love it. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.